It's the 420 radio show, and it's your host, Art the Ghost, blowing smoke. You already know, but check me out every Wednesday, you know? It's the ARTIKLEDAGHOST. It's the ARTIKLE. Doing the most, the radio show. It's the ARTIKLEDAGHOST. It's the ARTIKLE. Doing the most, the radio show. I talk that bud, show that love, you know what's up. I give it up, I blow that smoke, it ain't no joke. Article the ghost. 420, blow that smoke, man, I do this every day. Stuff them cones, light it up, and then I blow that hay. You want that truth, I spit them facts. This is more than just rap. It get quiet in here, but I got that loud pack. This is one hot song, tell a DJ bring it back. Man, I'm trying to tell ya I'ma roll a sack like that. Tune in every Wednesday for the inspiration, information, like, comment, and subscriptions. Algorithms, I'ma participate, but I'ma be in the clouds until a later day. Let's go. The ARTIKLEDAGHOST. It's the ARTIKLE. Ghost doing the most, the radio show host. It's the 420 radio show, and we done reached this news segment, and we getting into these headlines today, talking about cannabis banking left out of omnibus. This newsletter brought to you by Marijuana Moment and Steel Beating Productions LLC. Okay, other headlines read: Minnesota government legal marijuana by May. California legal psychedelics bill refiled. Study: legalized marijuana states have better cannabis public health outcomes. Let's get into this. And here are some top things to know. Congressional staffers confirmed to Marijuana Moment that cannabis banking language is not being included in the omnibus appropriations bill, despite a final push by Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer and other supporters from both parties. Advocates will now look ahead to 2023 and the possibility of advancing the cannabis reform in a divided Congress. Meanwhile, incoming House Financial Services Committee Chairman Patrick McHenry said he still opposes cannabis banking legislation but won't stand in the way in the GOP-controlled chamber next year. Ahead of the news about the omnibus, marijuana industry leaders and some law enforcement officials made a final push to include the cannabis banking provisions. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz said he expects the state to legalize marijuana by May, but the House Speaker said she thinks it will be on a slower timeline sometime over the next 2 years. A California senator refiled his bill to legalize possession of certain psychedelics. The new version, unlike last sessions that cleared the Senate but stalled in Assembly, would only cover plant and fungi-based substances, leaving out synthetics such as LSD and MDMA. A new cannabis public policy consultant study shows that states where marijuana is legal have less underage use and impaired driving than states where cannabis remains criminalized. Okay, we're moving on to federal. The Department of Veterans Affairs posted online courses about medical marijuana's role in treating PTSD and the science of cannabis use disorder. Senator Chris Von Hollen tweeted about the Justice Department's cocaine sentencing move, saying that war on drugs failed. It did not stop the drug use and was designed and enforced in a manner that had a discriminatory impact on communities of color. This is another step by the Biden administration to undo harmful policies and establish a fairer justice system. Much work still to do. Representative David Trone co-authored an opt calling for drug policies based on demand reduction on harm reduction. Okay, we moving on to states. Wisconsin Governor Tony Evers tweeted Wisconsin should legalize recreational marijuana, and I'll propose to do just that in our next biennial budget. A Missouri senator-elect said he believes the state's marijuana legalization law will make law enforcement's jobs harder. The Colorado Court of Appeals upheld regulators' right to withhold emails with a hemp policy consultant in response to a public records request. A Michigan court ruled that positive drug tests alone can't be used as justification to suspend parental visitation time. The Maryland Medical Cannabis Commission's chair is stepping down. Florida regulators filed emergency medical cannabis rules amendments that increase business licensing fees and make other changes. The Agriculture Commissioner tweeted, "Wow, at Governor Ron DeSantis has become so unpredictable. Cannabis rules out for new licenses limits the release of new licenses based on the need in violation of state law. DeSantis continues to show he is not a capitalist. Again, freedom favors big government and ignores the laws." Utah regulators filed emergency changes to rules on hemp processors. Connecticut regulators spoke about preparations to launch recreational marijuana sales early in the new year. Oregon regulators posted compliance bulletins about walk-up and drive-through sales as well as discounted items. The Washington, D.C. Alcoholic Beverage Regulation Administration tweeted, "Big news. The fee waiver and med cannabis patient and caregiver registration has been extended again through April 13th. Apply today. Self-certification permitted." The Maine Department of Agriculture, Conservation, and Forestry Agricultural Trades show next month will feature a hemp program. A 6th Rhode Island dispensary will begin recreational sales on Tuesday. New York marijuana regulators will consider approving additional marijuana business licenses on Wednesday. Vermont regulators will review staff recommendations for marijuana license approvals and social equity status, as well as discuss a draft report on hemp regulation on Wednesday. And that was your news segment, brought to you by Marijuana Moment and Steel Beating Productions LLC, where you get all the news and the good music. And I'm going to drop both of these links down in the description. But don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And share it with some people, man, so they can see what's going on, man. You know what I'm talking about? That's that 420 radio show. Let's get back into this smoke session. Peace. Let's go. Break down that bud to a tiny piece. Stuff your cone and line the tree. Take 2 puffs, inhale, hold it, exhale. Come on, just breathe, just breathe, just breathe, just breathe. Inhale, hold it, exhale. Come on, just breathe. Breaking down trees, you know I want it. Smoking all day, you know I'm on it. Grind the paper, lie the high. Got all components. Yeah, this is how we do. Bringing that there's a storm without the clue. Ray Charles and see I can make it. Take 2 puffs, they do. Hold it, exhale. Come on, just breathe, just breathe, just breathe, just breathe. Inhale, hold it, exhale. Come on, just breathe. Take 2 puffs, inhale, hold it, exhale. Come on, just breathe, just breathe, just breathe, just breathe. Inhale, hold it, exhale. Come on, just breathe.
Perfect timing.
Why you say that?
About to start a little puff give in this mother. Now I know Willie don't let you smoke in his eye, but I'm your Uncle Elroy. I don't give a damn how high you get in mine.
Steel Beating Productions.